I tell you, I'm feeling rough today. Hello guys, I hope you are well. So the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight concluded and it was a farce. It was so slow. I was literally staying up to 5:30 in the morning to watch this fight and it was boring. It was very boring and it was very sad. It was a very sad fight. It was very sad to watch. So I know that I said that, like, you know, Mike Tyson's a bull, Mike Tyson's doing this here, Mike Tyson's still a beast, and I still 100% agree with that. I still believe that he's a beast. However, his age really showed, and it was a very sad fight. It was just sad to see him there, and we all know that they were there for a bag, they were there to make their money, and they were there to get out, but literally all the hype in that fight was completely obviously not there from the very start when you seen Mike Tyson walking into the ring. It was just sad. It was a very sad fight. And, you know, Jake Paul, didn't get to see him get knocked out, I didn't even expect to see him knocked out. But I expected something a bit more, I did, and sadly, we didn't get that. And the legitimacy of it all, still shady, still shaky. As I said in my last one, it was going to be a lose-lose situation regardless for Jake. If he wins, he's a guy that beat up an old man, and he very clearly was a guy that just beat up an old man. They're trying to spin it in a way, like, oh, he held back and he was nice. He still did it. He still brought an older man who, like 4 months ago, had a health scare. He's been in wheelchairs, all of this hullabaloo. But people had this belief that he could do something, he could be something. And yes, it's PR, yes, it's editing, yes, it's trickery of the camera. But you expected something more, and the hype for it was in the previous fights. Like, the fights beforehand were very, very good. I will talk about those fights in our video, but they were very good. The second and third fight were very, very good, and the first one was forgettable. It was a whole shit too. But the Mike Tyson fight took so long to get there, so long to get to that moment, and it was a flop. It was a letdown. Yes, they made 20 million, 40 million. But it was a huge flop, huge letdown, a huge besmirch of Mike Tyson's legacy. Even though he doesn't really care about legacy, it was just sad. So a bit of a side story, it's quite a coincidence and it's quite funny. I was in our classroom today in Craigavon. My daughter wanted to go to the trampoline place. So I was there, she went on to the trampoline and I was sitting there. And I seen this guy walk in and start lighting candles for a birthday cake. And I looked at him and it was Carl Frampton. And I was like, well, this is a coincidence. This is so funny because I was essentially watching the fight last night. I've been making these videos and a retired world champion is there for me to talk to. So I went up to him, I shook his hand, he was lovely, and he said hello, and then I asked his opinion on the fight. Sadly, I couldn't record it because my phone was dead, but his opinion was a lot like mine. It was a farce, it was sad to see. He loved the previous fight with Katie Taylor. He thought the commentators were very biased to Amanda Serrano, which is very true. But he loved that fight and he thought that was really good, but his opinion is the fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was a farce and it was very, very sad. And I just thought, you know, that's a bit of a cool story to tell. Got to meet him today, he was cool, he was nice dude. It was just quite funny. But yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there. So, I don't think I'm going to be watching any more Jake Paul things, because regardless of it, it's fake. It's as fake as it can be. It's controlled in some way. It's not out and out fake all the time, but the legitimacy of these fights aren't 100% valid. So yeah, it was a very sad fight, very underwhelming fight. They made a shitload of money, so the real losers of all this is us lot who watched this fiasco and this farce. Yeah, it was shit. But guys, remember to always look after yourselves. I'll see you in a bit.
Keep my wife's name